Played.
Yeah.
You
No,
wanna
go ahead,
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. We played 2 new songs. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. No,
2 new.
yeah. With Camelot, we did 1 new song.
Yeah,
and that
well-
was the European tour, and now in North America, we did 2 new songs.
Nice way to get in the European tour right there. Yeah.
Right. It
Look
was
at
a
that.
good one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Madeleine. For the European tour that we did just
Smooth.
before the North American tour. That is correct.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time in the channel, hit subscribe right now.
Madeleine and Rikard, thank you so much for your time today. You guys are fresh back from your first North American tour. Although I don't know North American tours and fresh, given how few venues give you proper showers and that kind of stuff. How different was that experience, your first North American tour?
Shower wise, it was a big difference. Like in Europe, I'd say 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I would say that.
8 out of 10 venues has showers. And in North America, our experience, it's the other way around.
Yeah, like I gotta say, like in the South, no problems. But it was when we, after Los Angeles, when we went up to like North America and Canada, oh, it's a long time with wet wipes. So thank you, Huggies. But yeah, we really do appreciate a shower whenever we want to at home. So
And
yes,
I learned
staying
that
humble.
I learned that I'm somewhat sensitive even to wet wipes because I got like a rash that I had like a couple of years ago
Both you and
whenever the
Hugo.
summer came around.
Yeah, the drummer from Moonspell as well. I told you,
Yeah.
aloe vera is the shit, you know.
Yeah. Water is the shit for me.
Yeah, I
So,
guess,
yeah.
right?
Just to stay with America and make a bridge to the new album for a second. I don't know if I'm about to completely upset you or make you happy or don't care at all, but American music in songs like Never Forget, Through the Mist, Blood in Their Eyes, is that just me, or do I hear some Slipknot-ish influences in riffs and rhythms?
Interesting. I gotta say, I wouldn't say that you upset us because I like Slipknot.
Yeah.
It's nothing that we listen to, but I mean, it is. It's
Not
the
on
teenage years.
Not on a
right?
daily basis. And for
No.
me, being the guy that does the riffs and arranges the drums, I wouldn't say no, not at all. But you know,
I take that as compliments.
it's good to hear that we think alike, and I think alike as great musicians. What can I say? I mean,
There you go.
thank you very much for the compliment.
Yeah,
of
that's a
course, but it's
compliment.
nothing that was set in motion a time back now. But hey,
Yeah.
cool job, man.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, they're a great band, great
Oh,
music.
super
so
great.
Interesting to hear, actually. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Eleine has always been a powerful riff-driven band, but on this album, maybe even more so. Like, to use a overused term in metal, this is the most in-your-face album that you've made.
Oh,
Do you agree with that?
I would
yeah.
say this is the best album we've done to date. Yes.
I think it's the most dynamic as well.
Oh yeah.
You know,
for
like
sure,
yes,
for
a lot
sure.
of riffs. I mean, I'm a fan of a good riff, you know,
Right.
but also a lot of dynamics when it comes to the slower songs like "Suffering," for example. A lot of riffing there as well, but it's a little bit more. I wouldn't say sad, but a darker vibe, right? Compared to like "Never Forget," that really feels like a punch in the face. A good
yeah.
one, though. A good
yeah.
one. It's like, yeah, get yourself together. Let's do this, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate to hear that.
Okay.
It's, actually, what you said there about dynamics, it's that is really the key point there when Madeleine and I write music is that we want it to be dynamic.
Yeah, it's always
Like,
been a go-to.
It always has, yeah. And if you look at "We Shall Remain," the title track,
Yeah.
you can like this is also a good way for you guys who are creating music. This is a good way to fan out those that really don't listen to the music but still review it. Do the dynamics within your songs because if someone says that, oh, We Shall Remain is just a very soft song, well, then you haven't listened to the thrash part after the middle there. Come on, dude. I know you're lying.
Yeah.
You know?
Dynamics is a very important part because it all comes down to balance and not to dive too deep, but it actually applies to everything in life. If you feel like something might be missing, it's often about dynamics. You know, you can easily feel that everything is like this, right? I'm sure everyone can recognize themselves. Dynamics.
Oh yeah,
it's the good stuff.
There you go. There you go. Now, two songs where dynamics play a part, both with like those punchy riffs, but the melodies there as well. I actually already mentioned both of them, "Blood in Their Eyes" and "Through the Mist." I think for me so far, and I'll have to listen to the album many more times, but those for me are my favorite songs so far. Now, not necessarily already released as singles. You just had this tour, a tour where you are supporting another band before an album is released. Probably I didn't have a chance to see you guys on the tour. I was actually in Europe when you were in North America. Across paths.
Oh my god! Yeah.
I'm calling from Belgium right now. You probably didn't have too much luxury to play a lot of new songs for the audience, or did you? Like, what was the set like?
We played. You
no,
wanna
go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. We played 2 new songs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we did. With KAMELOT, we did 1 new song.
Yeah,
that was the European tour, and now in North America, we did 2 new songs.
Nice way to get in the European tour right there. Yeah.
Right. It was a good one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Madeleine. For the European tour that we did just before the North American tour. That is correct. Yeah, well, on the North American tour, we did 2 tracks from the new album, and those were "We Are Legion" and "Never Forget."
And I like that because it was nice to, of course, see the response from the crowd as well, right? But it also felt so good to finally give Dancing in Hell a little bit more justice when it comes to the live part. The songs from Dancing in Hell. And it really felt very, very good. It was I gotta say, it was a good set list we had. It was a really, like that good punch in your face,
So what you hear on the recordings is what you will hear live. We don't have any guitars, any bass, any vocals on backings. We don't have any drums on backings. Everything you hear is live, except of course for the orchestral arrangements, because we didn't have money for like 4 buses. So,
Buses are expensive these days in North
America.
Well, everywhere, for sure. All right. Well, now that you mentioned a Burning Hell, I mean, I'm just gonna jump around and follow wherever you guys want to take this conversation.
Sure.
With that album and then a song like All Shall Burn, and then now Stand by the Flame, flames and fire have always kind of been like part of you guys. Like, we see that in artwork, in t-shirt prints, we see that in lyrics, we see that in names of songs. Fires and something burning, that can be a metaphor for many, many things. But is that just all a coincidence, or is there you want to keep a burning flame part of your identity as a band in some way?
So I have a very interesting answer to that question, but I want you to answer this first.
For me, it's a coincidence because I think it is like you said, it's like a metaphor, for feeling empowered, get empowered, get up on your feet again, and remember what you've been through and what you are going through and what you will go through. So for me, the fire thing, it is really because, like I usually say, now we have been talking about the North American crowd. Just like in Europe now, I like to see the spark in people's eyes. It is something else after the pandemic, it is like this fire, and I love that. So I think it's just a coincidence, but it's a good element. It is.
That is very nice that you feel that, because I always push towards that. If we think about it now, because ever since I was a child, I've been sort of fascinated by the element of fire, and it has so many different things tied to it, like being reborn or tearing something down. Like, the contrast within one element is so vast and so huge. It can mean destruction, it can mean to build something and to express oneself, or to dampen things. It's very, I think it's so versatile, and it's so very powerful and so very gentle, but it is has to be respected also. So I think it's a very nice package to revolve around.
Now I'm thinking about it, it's like not maybe so much of a coincidence, because I'm very drawn to like earth and fire as elements. You know, I am not much for water. Like, of course, I appreciate it. I drink it, right? But I don't put my...
You said it before on tour, water is the shit, right?
Showers is great, but the ocean, no, I stay away.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's interesting,
it's
actually.
very interesting. Yeah,
thanks for bringing it up.
I feel like Beavis. Yeah. Fire!
Maybe I'm again just seeing ghosts or projecting whatever, but when we look at the artwork, where we also see flames and we see war and we see many shapes coming together to form some sort of demonic pentagram, but at the same time also female reproductive system and rebirth that way. Am I completely off here?
Well, there are no vaginas,
but it can be seen as it actually. If you but like if you actually look at it, yes, that is what. If you
it kind of looks
kind of looks like it.
Yes, and I think this ties together because it is a, like you said, a rebirth, a rising again, right? It is. It's a very natural evolution from Dancing in Hell. I mean, we never, as we've been talking about so many times, we don't sit down and ask ourselves, what is the trend right now? How can we get more famous? We've been giving ourselves the creative freedom of, okay, let's just create. And it's very natural what we have been through since Dancing in Hell, right? So it is a very like empowering album in general. And of course, as always, we reflect that with the artwork. Like, don't forget the battlefield, right? On the part, the sacrifices, right? It will always upset someone that is very religious. I'm very sorry, as always, but it is a very, very good sign of sacrifices. And you see the symbol in the middle, and the rising part, and the fire. Yes, and we always wanted to be an extension of the actual songs.
Oh yes,
awesome.
And so just I've been thinking about this also, that if we look at Dancing in Hell was being in your own personal hell and navigating through that, getting out the other side. So a natural extension, as Madeleine said, as you said, is We Shall Remain. What does that mean? Does it mean a rebirth? No, it's not a rebirth as such. It is a continuation. You need to keep on fighting. It's not over because you went through it. You know, you need to be there for the aftermath. So,
and you're not supposed to forget what you have been through.
Exactly.
That's why we have the battlefield.
Yes,
as well.
And if you look at both Madeleine and myself, I went undiagnosed for 35 years for ADHD, and you got your diagnosis for high functioning autism last year.
Yeah.
And speaking for myself, this is where I'm getting at for not calling it a rebirth, but a continuation. It's finding yourself again, because it's for so many years you were corrected. You needed to mask, and luckily for me, I'm a typical ADHD, a big kid. But for many others, I can imagine that you need to reconnect with your inner child, because you weren't the child, your natural child when you were a child, if you had to mask. So to rediscover yourself, to have that kind of recognition and stuff like that, and reconnection.
It sounds almost that it was very cathartic and not too scary to open up that way, or was it scary to allow yourself to be so open on this record?
It doesn't feel scary. It feels like it's a kind of natural way of expressing ourselves. As for an example, Vadas Alles, the entire chorus is in German. It's based on a poem that I wrote when I was in the deepest part of my depression that I went through. That really started before the pandemic, so it wasn't like a pandemic depression.
Right.
And honestly, with that song, it just felt so natural to do something that is just actually telling that, okay, was this it? Is this all? Because in the midst of it, you need to somehow accept what is happening, what has happened, to be able to move forward. So that is the thing, you know. It's always about accepting is always the first step, right? But no, it doesn't feel scary at all. I know that a lot of colleagues have been asking, like, well, I almost said that, oh, I can't admire you being so open, but seriously, I don't have much of a filter in life in general, to be very honest, and I would be even more miserable again if I had to mask, like I have been doing my entire life. So it's actually a relief, and actually to see the feedback and reaction from fans as well. You know, it's been almost overwhelming to receive the messages that people are writing, you know, about how they relate, and, you know, oh yeah, I've been through this and that, and it's, wow, what a way to connect, right?
Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing.
Of course. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it.
And I'm sure that you've had many fans come up to you in this North American tour, the European tour, let's not forget the European tour as well. Or even, let's not forget, before that, the acoustic tour that you did.
Yes.
Actually, just to go back to that one real quick, how was it, Rikard? I know that we last spoke when we were just about to go on that tour. And you were telling me that it is a bit of a challenge playing on those, and I think I directly quote, those chunky necks of your acoustic guitars. So going back to electric, is that then all of a sudden that you're like, oh, I don't know what to do with all the space that I have now, or like?
No. Oh no, bro, definitely not. You actually, like, theoretically, you have more space on the acoustic because of the chunky necks. But no, it's very nice. It was a great. I can actually say it was a great exercise to do that on the acoustic, because in my experience as a self-taught guitarist, I felt it was more difficult to do it on the acoustic, since you had to do different things to make it sound good.
Yeah. And
then coming back, like, we were out 7 weeks doing that, and then coming back to the electric guitar, I was like, this is easy. Easy. So it's very nice. But yeah, I feel like for myself, I leveled up with thanks to the acoustic tour, yes, and also with this new album with We Shall Remain, because there are several challenges within We Shall Remain that I haven't met before. So it's very nice.
We kind of pushed it. You pushed the riffing pretty hard.
Yeah.
And as I said, I love good riffs. I was like, yeah, come on, go for it, you know?
Yeah. Like, the sudden realization when we were 1 week before we were heading out on the North American tour, and we just came back from the European tour, and we had to rehearse Never Forget, which we were going to play on the North American tour. And we hadn't played it yet, you know, landed there like Monday, we're heading out Friday. All right, let's sit down and jam this sucker. And I learned the parts, no problem. And then, shit, I'm gonna sing and play that at the same time. Ah,
right.
So yeah,
A bit of a challenge.
it was a bit of a challenge. So it took about a day.
But you should never get too comfortable. That's the thing in life.
That was a real challenge.
Yeah.
We're running out of time already, and I could ask you probably a million more questions, but everybody watching this, you know, you've been on the road already, but the album's coming out in a few weeks as we're talking. Everybody watching this video, what can they keep their fingers crossed and their eyes open for?
Well, we haven't released anything yet, but please keep your eyes open on the tour tab on the Eleine.com page. Yes, and of course, we're going to Germany for a couple of signing sessions in the EMP stores, and we have a couple of festivals in August. So we will most likely be in Belgium, I guess, and you won't be there in August?
I fly to Canada back on August 4th, but I'll be back in Europe
and we
from December to
on
March.
11th?
Come on, man.
So we've been crossing paths.
So
I love it.
I would say to everyone to keep their eyes on the tour tab on the Eleine.com page. But hey, if you want to know more earlier, patreon.com/Eleine, and we also give out small hints on our Twitch channels. That's Madeleine Liljestam and Rikard Ekberg on Twitch.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Fantastic. Well, maybe as just like a fun wrap-up question before I let you go. You know, as a dark symphonic band, playing with Moonspell must have been pretty cool. And these guys have been doing it for so fucking long. What's one thing that you took away from just being on the road with these guys, whether it's behind or on stage? I know that you guys are self-taught and DIY, but you know, you learn from the best, right? That's how you know, challenge yourself as well in a certain way. Is there a thing that this tour taught you or opened your eyes for that you weren't expecting?
Not that we weren't expecting. For me, like we were out with Moonspell in 2016 also.
Yeah, in
which
Europe.
was our first tour ever.
Yeah, but now we shared bus.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
And what I take with me from that is that camaraderie is very important.
Yeah, that is actually what I would say as well. They are such down-to-earth guys. It felt like we were on a bus with a family, and it was such personalities, you know.
Yeah.
It was a lovely vibe, and the things that we have experienced the exact opposite as well, you know. And it can really make a tour a horrible memory. Like, yes, the gigs are great, but the rest is just pure anxiety. And this, we had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
we had
for sure.
all
There
the
you go.
Yeah.
In other words, you guys were all Legion. Fantastic.
Hey.
Yeah.
There you go. Rikard and Madeleine, thank you so much for your time. I know these are hectic days, so I always appreciate it when you take a little bit of time to talk to me. It's always fun. Thank you so much. And I'm sure I'll make it work to finally see you guys on a stage, whether it's this side or that side of the Atlantic.
Wow. Yeah.
Let's see. It will be interesting to see whenever it finally happens. But thank you so very much for having us again. We truly appreciate it as always.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.